How greedy of me.
Hello everyone, it's your boy NoukonNeko, your perfect virtual feline friend, purveyor of good vibes. So today, we're going to continue playing some Genshin.
Cherishes their gems.
Yeah, like the last time we played Genshin, we just like finished a couple of events, and I don't think there's any more events now, right? Yeah, there's still just this event that already finished already. So we're really good to kind of continue doing the story, which is kind of the big plan. And right now we are currently locked out of the main story because Nahida's still busy with her character story. So the big plan today is to continue doing Nahida's story. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Hey, Squaw. Good to see you again. Always good to see you. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I need to go. Is it? It tells me, right? Dream of Awakening, which is right here. And yeah, we did accidentally start this quest. Like we just walked around to Meru City and like I got sucked into this thinking it was the main story. But yeah, so to give an idea, people were asking about dreaming because people could dream now, right? And Nahida kind of jumped in to kind of give her opinion or her advice about it. And it's quite more information than what the child can give. I can say that much. That's how much I remember right now. So let's see how much I can remember after I actually continue the story. But yeah, she's still down there trying to give other people advice, I think. She's here, and then where's the other guy? I think I need to talk to the other guy. There was a guy who was really hold on. This guy, right? Wait. Name looks, that's Ilmon. That's not the right guy. Yeah, there's a person who kind of misses his wife, right? His wife passed away and he dreams of her. And kind of he kind of told him that, you know, it's just a dream, that he kind of needs to move on. Kind of depressing, but it's just what you gotta do sometimes. You can't just keep on relying on a dream. So it sounds very tempting. Wait, where is he? Wait. Kind of funny because I have Nahida out. Looks like I have 2 Nahidas out in the world, huh? 2 Nahidas. We're like twins. Exact same. Wait, why does she look a little bit taller? Is it just me? It's part of the rug, right? Yeah, it's the rug. Wow, I didn't think the rug would make me just slightly a bit more taller. Wait, switch back to who I was trying to change to. I was gonna switch to Kazuha so I could kind of maneuver around much more easily. Okay. Where'd you go? I thought you were literally at one of those tables earlier. Oh no, it is Ilman. I don't know why. I looked at the top left and I thought I said Roman. But Ilman is the person I'm looking for.
Are you feeling any better now?
How's it going? It's been weird. My sleep schedule's been kind of off whack. So I've been trying, you notice there are some days I try to take off to try to get it back on track, but it's not working as well as I want to. It seems like I kind of need a little more time, but I am a little bit more tired today because I'm kind of forced myself to kind of stay up or stay awake during the day when I normally kind of been taking a lot of naps lately. So, but it's not a little bit tired because of that, but otherwise I'm not doing too bad. How are you feeling? Are you feeling better now?
Yes. I think the Dendro Archon made a really good point. I need to stop dwelling on my wife like this and move on with my life. Now that I think about it, my wife and I always meet at a familiar place in my dreams. I know where that place exists in reality, but it's a bit far and dangerous. I don't dare to go there on my own.
Wait, but why would you... why would you know those places if you've been there before and it's dangerous now?
But at the same time, I feel as if I should go and have a look anyway. Perhaps I'll be able to move on once I see that there's nothing there.
You know, that actually does sound like a good plan.
Otherwise, I'll keep on feeling like everything is covered in a haze. Like I'm only half awake.
Oh, I know how that feels right now.
Once I can stop dreaming about that place, I'll probably be able to get my life back together. Actually, you two are adventurers, right? If it's okay with you, could you escort me to that place?
Sure, let's go have a look. Let's go get a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it might also be a good chance for us to unwind. Even if you can't see your wife there, taking in some nice scenery will definitely help cheer you up.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Alright, go ahead and get yourself ready then.
Speaking of longing for decease, I better tell Nahida about the greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Yeah, eventually. Nahida should at least know that she once existed in this world.
Are you headed off to some interesting place without telling me again? Huh? Wait, aren't you supposed to be answering questions? I just finished, and I really got a lot out of it. So many interesting and novel thoughts. Anyway, it looks like you're going somewhere. Why don't you take me with you?
Oh, there's no need to trouble you, Great Dendro Archon. I imagine you must have many other important things to deal with.
No need to stand on ceremony. Besides, I wouldn't have asked to come along if I didn't have a good reason. I wanted to use this opportunity to discuss with you some things that are puzzling me right now.
Oh.
I didn't know the Great Dendro Archon could become puzzled too.
I'm not all that different from you, you know. Alright, let's go. We can talk on the way.
Better go with her. The whole greater Rukkhadevata thing will take some explaining. It's true, right? I mean, considering that she has an ability to kind of access a lot of information of the past and everything, you would find some kind of weird inconsistencies when you try to remove someone from existence. Some things just doesn't make sense, right? Hello, Spiky. Yeah, nice to see you again. How you doing? Just climb my way to continue Nahida's story right now. Yeah, I think out of everything, death is one thing, right? But kind of disappearing from existence is a totally another level. It's crazy.
Time to go.
It's a strange thought. And being the only person to remember that person exists is even more sadder. Doing good. How about you? I am doing okay. Could be better, but who knows? Maybe after I get my sleep schedule all fixed, then I will be better.
It's always nice to go for a leisurely stroll.
Huh. Do adventurers often go to places like this?
Yes, of course. We usually journey through for more dangerous places than this.
I guess so.
So, this is where you always meet your wife in your dreams?
Yes, for the most part. Our place is on the summit, just up ahead. When I saw her in my dreams, we didn't do anything but talk about ordinary, mundane topics. I'd tell her about our daughter, Haidar, and she always listened intently. She would also reminisce about the past with me, telling me interesting stories and cracking jokes.
Oh, also ended more constellations with Hu Tao and got Yilan and her weapon. Ooh, wow, that's quite a bit of a haul you got from the latest changes.
It feels like no matter how long we may chat, it's never enough.
Sometimes it's the little things in life that matter the most.
Hello, Sleep Skip TV, and thanks for the follow.
This is the part I'm a little puzzled about. I am very familiar with dreams, and normally they lack logic and continuity. But you said she could remember what you had told her before, right?
That's right. She always listened to me carefully in real life, and now she's doing the same in my dreams. She always surprises me with some details from our lives in the real world. The fact that she can remember such things makes me feel like she's alive.
Whoa, that's pretty weird. Well, dreams are kind of weird to begin with.
Yeah, I had like recurrent dreams before. They're always interesting, especially if it does continue off from another dream. But in the end, all that data is all in your head, right? So technically it could happen. It could exist.
However, the problem is that his dreams have too much structure and continuity. Most dreams are far more fragile than you can imagine.
Got 3 Hu Taos, 1 Yulan, and her bow without losing 50. Wow, that's some luck then. Wow, congrats.
For example, a loud noise outside your window in the real world could cause your dream self to get loaded into and fired out of a big cannon.
I did not know that could... I mean, actually, that has happened before when I hear noises out in the real world and it kind of injects itself in my dream.
Another example. If you're thirsty in the real world, then you might find yourself trudging through a desert in your dream. But the appearance of your wife seems unusually stable and unaffected by any outside interference. Statistically, this should be extremely rare.
I don't understand it either. But I have no reason to suspect or reject these dreams. They're too beautiful.
Yeah, I understand. It'll be really difficult. Indeed. I agree. It doesn't really feel like a cause for concern.
But I still want to figure out the how and the why. These kind of dreams are novel to me as well. That's why I want to have a look at the scene your dreams have been taking place at. Let's go. Just think of it as a nice little hike to the top of the mountain.
Sounds like a nice little hike. C4 Hu Tao. I was going to stop at C3, but I was building pity for the next banner and got Hu Tao. I see. Yeah, I've done that before too. So when you build pity, does that mean you were also going for like the 4-star characters too? I think the current banner is very tempting because I do want at least one more copy of Yilan. But the problem is the 4 stars in these banners, I think I have maxed them all out. So pretty much if I don't get Yilan and get all those 4-star characters, I'm wasting a lot of Primo Gems. So it was very tempting for me to roll, but at the same time, that's what's putting me off from actually doing it. If it was almost any other 4-star characters that I don't have, I would have done it. So it was... I think Ningon could be the only one that potentially isn't maxed out, but there's a good chance she is. Let's see. But definitely Zinc Show is maxed out. You see me use him all the time. Before I'm looking for Ningguang. Here. See, she's maxed out. Who's the other one again? Oh, Beto. And Beto's obviously maxed out too, because I told you guys that she was my first main character that I played for like a good whole year. It's more like 9 months, but close enough. What? Why did that free us up? That as well? Oh, and it locked itself. That's something I never seen before. Okay, this might be a little detour, but I am kind of curious about this puzzle. How curious. Okay, well. Wait, is it time-based? Lock. Lock up. That one's still... Oh, I can't reach. Wait. I'm afraid to move. I feel like I want to just stay in the spot. And the only one character that can hit all three is Cole. Where are you? Oh, wait, down here.
Major Cole.
Now work on her awe. She finally has her time to shine. There you go.
It's important to replenish your supplies often when you're out in the wild.
That's unfortunate. I need to level some artifacts. Is there a character that has some artifacts that you can level up? $20, $20, $20. What other character did I take a look? Was it Cookie? 20, 20. On 20. Maybe he's not that. Maybe it's Yao Yao. I'm pretty sure it's Yao Yao. Maybe we're kind of working on it a little bit during Spiral Abyss. There you go. All right, couple more. I have max 4 stars. The 4 stars for the banner. I was building pity for a Shenghua. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Trying to remember when I mentioned close. Oh, I think I was talking about in from the 9 months to like being a year. I mean, it was like majority of the year. And even when I got like Eula, I still was using Beto for a while too. It's just that sure, I've been using Eula more as my main ever since I got her. Okay. I think that's quite enough for me to grab these for now. I'll worry about spend the rest of my artifacts later. Switch back to Nahida. Actually, gonna switch team.
Places for us to
Okay. Installing Genshin onto your new laptop. Can't wait to play. Is this your first time playing Genshin, or is this your you're coming back to playing Genshin?
Well, he really wasn't kidding. This place definitely isn't safe. No matter. We'll just finish them quickly. Huh? Are you going to fight too, Nahida? Of course. This is all part of our little trip.
Yeah, like...
I see everything.
Oop, I forgot. This is... Oh, I was like wondering why Nahida's in this team.
Quietly, Max.
It's fine, I can work with this. Ouch.
Wind strike.
A little bit too quick though. That's a really giant machine right there.
The scenery here is amazing! It also seems like a great spot for eating snacks and taking a nap.
Like, I knew that thing was there. I just didn't see the arm before. I just knew I saw the head.
Paimon wouldn't mind spending some time here every day either. I've yet to see anything strange about this place. I do not plan to deny the power of longing. Such an intense but unquantifiable emotion could indeed have the power to organize dreams. His wife must be a really amazing person. Huh? Wait, where'd he go?
Oh, so you are waiting for me here? Well, guess what? I've brought someone amazing with me today.
Oh no, is he seeing illusions? Kind of like how you have like a imaginary friend. That's what's happening right now.
When the Dendro Archon said she wanted to come with me, I could hardly believe it. I'll bring Haidar once I'm more familiar with the way here. She's been telling me that she really misses you.
Huh? What's wrong with him? There's nobody there.
Wait, Minar. Don't go that way. It's dangerous.
Uh-oh, he's gonna fall. Catch him! Whew. Luckily he didn't fall. But what was all that rambling about? He also looks like he's passed out.
Oh, that was dangerous.
He's in the dream now. What he said just now matches almost perfectly with the dreams he's described to us earlier. Oh, so he fell asleep and started to have the same dream? I find it a little strange as well, but we mustn't awaken someone while they're sleepwalking. All we can do is sit here and wait.
Huh? Minar. Where's Minar?
Oh, good! You're finally awake!
What happened?
You were sleepwalking and almost fell.
Huh? Sleepwalking? Oh, right. It was all just a dream.
You know, I've been wondering, like, I always hear that you shouldn't wake up a sleepwalker mid-dreaming, but what happens when you do? Or told not to do that? Is it because something bad happens?
The moment I reached the summit, I saw my wife, Minar, sitting there, and walked over to her. After I introduced her to you, she seemed a little flustered and started walking away. I told her to stop because of the cliff.
Oh, they can get violent. Yeah, that would be bad. They could probably hurt themselves too that way.
And then she seemed to suddenly disappear. A strong wind started to blow around me and the sky grew dark. When I realized something wasn't right, I woke up.
That sounds pretty wild. Maybe you were just too tired.
I don't think so. I slept a lot yesterday, and I don't feel very sleepy now.
Maybe we've affected the way his subconscious constructs dreams by following him here. Anyway, all that matters is that you woke up safe and sound.
I think I know what happened now. I'm sorry. If it weren't for you, I would have fallen.
Let's head back now. Don't come back to this place again for the time being.
Oh, okay.
Nahida, what's on your mind? Paimon's a little worried now. We still don't have enough evidence to work off of, so it's hard to draw any reliable conclusions yet. But I'm concerned that Ilmon's case may not be unique to him. Oh, right! Come to think of it, there were lots of people from the event who had vivid memories of their dreams.
Maybe this phenomenon is already spreading.
Right. And not only at a moment of dreams, there may be people like this all across Sumeru. We need to understand what's happening and the rate of its development as soon as possible. Then there's no time to lose. Let's head back. Stop standing there, Ilmon. Let's go.
What? A current calls? Oh. Well, that's kind of annoying. I went from doing Nahida's main story quest to, or Nahida's character story, because the main story, the interlude, was blocked, and now I have to go back to her interlude. Kind of going back and forth. Okay, so we're back to the main interlude now. But hopefully I'm at the end part of the interlude. I kind of feel like it should be pretty close. Oh, and here.
We're out! And we're at, an inn or something?
I'm trying to remember what happened in the interlude. So we literally went in Irmisol, where a lot of information of the past and a lot of data are just sitting around, right? And we're trying to figure out whether we could find information about ourselves, the character, the main character and the sister, right? But then we found the traveler, or Balladeer's Scaramouche's past instead, and found out his tragic story about how he got betrayed or kind of puppeteered by the doctor, and that caused him to harm a lot of people that he really cared about, right? When that kind of made him kind of really sad, right? Because he initially thought they betrayed him, but he found out they didn't really betray him at all, but the doctor made it seem like he betrayed them. So in this result, he is trying to erase himself to hopefully make a better route timeline. So I guess I forgot who we're looking for. Like I got cut off right there after doing that and getting stuck by Nahida's character quest.
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you.
Oh, she's just putting me in timeout, huh? No, I want to help you. Isn't there anything I could do?
I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me. An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay? Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe. Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before?
Paimon doesn't remember the greater Lord Rukkhadevata, but the Balladeer question was a strange one. It's hard to explain in full, and the truth might be very distressing for Paimon. Oh yeah, that's right, but Paimon doesn't know either about the greater Lord Rukkhadevata's existence disappearing. And we didn't even tell the Balladeer. Balladeer just was able to tell the answer by just reading our expression or reaction to his question about whether he could change the past. I'll skip the part about the greater Lord Rukkhadevata for now and focus on the Balladeer.
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible!
It's not easy, that's for sure.
Right! You can't just rewrite history! All that stuff happened already in real life! potion. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it.
Yeah, great example.
So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Ooh, Paimon's so confused.
Maybe he wants to erase himself from history?
Huh?
Paimon, are you okay?
Sorry, Paimon accidentally... It's the Balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul?
I mean, it has happened. I don't know how to tell her this. It's not necessarily, but maybe.
Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too?
Indeed, if the Balladeer does erase himself from Irminsul, any people in Inazuma will be affected. I can't imagine what the situation would look like. Worst case scenario, it will affect everyone with a connection to the Raiden Gokuden. Kazuha, Ayaka, Ayato. Will this mean that they'll disappear?
There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a wink tonight.
Me neither.
So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here. Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes. Cream stew. Sauteed matsutake.
This is making me more hungry than sleepy.
And Dragon chili chicken. Almond tofu. Satisfying salad. Oh, also Adeptus Temptation. Golden shrimp balls. Triple layered consomme. Lotus seed and bird egg soup. And...
Did it work? I'm on. What's wrong?
What do we... What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about. What was it again?
Yeah, that happens to me quite a bit. You were getting so worried about the situation with the Balladeer that you started listing foods.
The Balladeer? Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name though.
No. He'd erased himself out of existence already. And again, only I remember these things. My mind doesn't remember the Balladeer. That must mean I actually pulled it off. But how do you have that ability? That doesn't make sense.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said?
No, it's nothing. Well, technically he had Raiden's... Wait. Yes, he had Raiden's... what you call it, right? The chess piece. But the Raiden's power was able to change to the past, and so was Nahida's power, so it's not a big stretch that he should be able to do it too.
So, the Balladeer Balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something.
This really is happening, or if this is really happening, I need to know what else has changed. Paimon, come with me.
Okay, sure. Where are we going?
I want to go back to Inazuma.
Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
Now's not the time to explain. Let's go over there first. Okay, so we're continuing with the interlude. Might as well continue with their interlude. It's going to take 2 hours to download Genshin. Yeah, Genshin is a really big game. Despite their attempts to trying to not retain all these events and stuff like that to keep it low, it's still a really big game. It's a problem for a lot of ongoing games like this.
We've made it to Amenoma Smithy.
And how long it took us to get here.
Ah, it's been a while.
Pardon me, I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
Of course. Go ahead.
About the Raiden Gokuden. Could you tell me the story one more time?
Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5.
You returned home? That result's a little bit different, right? Like, when we did Kazuha's story, he decided to kind of keep on traveling instead of keep on, staying home and taking the mantle, right?
If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Oh yeah, we were. Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then too. It seems like such a shame.
What was the reason behind their decline?
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed.
Yeah, so just to give a little summary, of Fatui tricked Kazuha's ancestors. One, to kind of get one of them killed to kind of manipulate the Balladeer. And the other one, I think, was tricked into, traveling to Fatui to kind of work for them.
In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. the Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
What?
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out.
Yeah, so they all should have died, so why was there a murderous, spree?
The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
Legend of the Raiden Gokuden has changed. Someone else attacked the swordsmiths. Looks like the Balladeer did something in Irmisol, but seems Niwa still died.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Have you seen Kazuha recently?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well.
Phew, so he still exists. He's still the same Kazuha I know. Things don't seem as bad as I feared last night. That's all. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will be right behind you.
How can I improve my
Trying to think of why that bladesmith wouldn't have done the same thing even when the Balladeer was still existing.
We're here! This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler, it's been a while.
Hello.
If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Are they out on business?
The commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
Thank you. We'll take you up on that offer.
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
I didn't realize that was a double option. I thought it was the same option and I misclicked, but okay.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say?
Ma'am, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you. What would you like to know?
How are the commissioner and Miss Kamisato these days?
Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the commissioner's behalf. As for the commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although, he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Yato's still the Yashiro's commissioner. Yaka is still the leader of the house. No changes here. As far as I see, nothing's changed in the Yashiro commissioner either. I was expecting as much, but still a big relief to know that the Kamisito siblings are both safe and well.
Well, got any more questions?
That's all for now. Many thanks.
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are and how much she admires you. I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all.
I'm flattered.
I mean it. Whenever the commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away. The commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. But given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma is a much better chef than most. Oh, the commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. The way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one can truly be themselves. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole family gets together and they start talking about people they've met and experiences they've had, you always get a mention.
Kind of feels weird. It kind of feels weird to get talked about so much by everybody.
It's been many years now since the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato passed away. Much has happened in the Kamisato clan in that time. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, it makes me so happy to see them meet a dependable friend whose company they enjoy so much. So, in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro Commission headquarters. There will always be at least one old lady who would be delighted to have the pleasure of your company.
Thank you very much. I will visit again. The people of the Kamisato clan are very dear friends to me.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, you were saying something about the food here being really great. Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime. Paimon meant we should come pay a visit again real soon. Ideally around dinner time.
Very smooth, Paimon.
Of course. You're always welcome.
Alright, goodbye for now. Where are we going next?
Hataratsuna.
Great! Goodbye, ma'am! Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right, then. Take care now. Hope to see you soon.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
Goodbye. What? What's with this chain of quests kind of blocking my way? Now that's blocked, and what did it tell me to go? Outlander Brigade. Guess I'm doing this one next. Wonder if there will be ever a time when, like, there will be quests kind of locked out completely in like a big circle, like a circle lock, and you just can't progress no matter what. That'd be really unfortunate if that's possible, but man, it does feel like it's starting to feel that way. Like it's possible. Oof, it was a little bit raspy and me. Grab a drink. Oh, water went in the wrong pipe. Oh, no voice lines. Give me a second. Just say it. What was the problem this time? Problem this time, Ms. Kaharu, is that your performance just now was completely passionless. When I wrote those lines, my heart was bursting in with an empty, yet fervent passion. Yes, empty yet fervent. I need you to be more patient. Use your voice to express this rich emotion. Huh? An empty yet fervent passion? What does that even mean? Wait a minute. Didn't the casting call say that the script was written by a famous writer? That's absolutely right. This story was adapted from a novel written by the renowned author Kayabuki Ike. And who adapted it, you might ask? None other than myself. Miss Kaharu, Miss Susano, I am sorry for making you both go over this so many times. But it's all worth it for the sake of artistic perfection. As such, I hope that... Hold on. I only know one Kabuki Ike, and everything he submitted to the Yai publishing house has always got rejected. And he wouldn't accept that, so he started publishing his own novels, but not a single one sold in the end. Don't tell me we've been put through the ringer 11 times for something that guy wrote. Ugh. I had enough of this nonsense. That doesn't look good. Seems like Koharu's seconds away from flying off the handle. Let's say hello. So, Xavier, are you guys filming? Long time no see. Oh, NoukonNeko and Paimon, my dear friends, how marvelous it is to see familiar faces at a time like this. As you can see, following the 7th samurai, I finally came up with a way to secure the necessary resources to shoot another film. The lead role hasn't been decided yet, but thanks to the Lord Kamisato's generosity, the funds, props, and nearly all the other early stage problems have already been taken care of. If you don't mind, can I ask you maybe possibly all remember our agreement from before? What agreement? Of course. It's already been a long time since then, after all. You must have had many other important matters to take care of, so it's completely understandable that our first meeting didn't leave an impression. Don't worry, I'm not surprised or disappointed, really. NoukonNeko's friend of the Yashiro Commissioner. So you all know each other. That's right. NoukonNeko was the first friend I made in Inazuma. The Fatui who dumped a bunch of work on me, and those non-communicative samurai don't count. You meet friends with NoukonNeko, I guess you can't be all that bad. Well, it seems like Xavier's got some chops after all. Yeah, we're very good friends. You really think so? Even though I never said so, I, for my part, have considered you a true friend right from the start. You aren't just my dear friend, you're my esteemed, reliable, true friend. Well, since we're friends, you don't have to call me any of that. Of course. You here are right at this most dire moment, like an oasis in the desert of Sumeru, precious and timely. So as long as our previous agreement still remains willing to play the role of the male lead in my new film, oh, I agreed to that? So what you say, will you be my male lead? I would be honored. I can't attest at NoukonNeko's ability to improvise. We traveled long enough after all. Getting him to be the main character is definitely a win for you, Xavier. Absolutely, I have no doubt about that. Well then, Mr. NoukonNeko, here are the scripts for the next 2 scenes. Your scenes, Act 1, Scene 2, and 3. I've highlighted your lines, so please take note of them. It's blue, so... Oh no. Well, it took this much effort to find the right person for the lead role. I might as well give this one more try. Ugh, fine, I will too. Oh boy, this is gonna be a lot to kind of remember, but I think you just need to remember the blue parts. I'll read the whole thing first though. Outland Brigade, when the wind of the death blew towards the blonde samurai script. Prelude. Outside in the quiet countryside, in the verdant wilds of Narukami, Haru and Susanoo stand back to back, and each speaking with their eyes closed. Susanoo. The wind is coming. Haru. Where from? Should I even say their name? I just skipped their name. Don't worry about where it's coming from. All you need to know is that it's coming for them. Where are they? That Outlander? They've already walking the path to death. Susanoo opens his eyes, then walks into the distance holding Haru's hand. Act 1, Scene 2. Outside the quiet countryside, the outlander and the two are besieged by the enemy. After escaping with great difficulty, they arrive in the countryside, wounded. The outlander isn't bleeding. This won't do. If this continues, we won't have a chance against them. We'll have to sacrifice ourselves. The two rush out of the frame. How did this happen? The outlander wears a pained expression, but soon makes up their mind again. But I won't lose like this. Close up. Don't underestimate my resolve. Blech. Already messing up the line before we even began. The outlander turns and walks towards the enemy ranks as the screen fades in black. Scene 3. Outdoors, the enemy stronghold. After making up their mind, the outlander cuts their way to the enemy stronghold. Right, later, Squall. Don't worry about me. Hurry up and go without us. The outlander spins around, continues to swing their weapon through their endless rotation. The warrior becomes a golden whirlwind. The golden whirlwind covers every inch of the frame. Each enemy caught in the golden whirlwind's endless attacks suffers pain immeasurably worse than that of a tooth decay. The golden whirlwind rapidly flings all enemies on screen into the distance where they land hard on the ground. The outlander reaches the imprisoned Susanoo and Haru, freeing them. That's not too hard to remember, right? How did this happen? But I won't lose like this. Don't underestimate my resolve. Okay, I think I can remember that. It's just 3 lines. Let's hope that's really all there is to it. Okay, I'm ready. I remember all of this before I forget. This won't do. If this continues, we won't have a chance against them. Soother, Mr. Susanoo, smoother. These lines are so awkward, though. We'll have to sacrifice ourselves. With feeling, Miss Koharu. Once more with feeling. How does this happen? But I won't lose like this. Don't underestimate my resolve. Very nice. Excellent performance, NoukonNeko. This is on Mr. Koharu. You two need to go over our script. The next scene is between you two. You need to do better than this. NoukonNeko? Yeah, we have a lot of battle scenes up next. So you'll need to complete them with the extras. Try to use the flashes move if you can. I have a lot of faith in your abilities. I know your performance will be stellar. Yeah, I wonder what happens if I pick the other options.
Lucky day.
Oh, interesting kind of view. But it's still easy. But this is very different. I wasn't expecting this. Oh, it's still going.
Take flight.
No.
I have the rest of the tutor over there. Ooh.
Here comes the catch. Whirling snow.
Cut down
Yeah.
like this.
The door. Miss Susanoo, Miss Koharu, I'm disappointed in both of you. The difference between the crude shots and true film-like, honest dance dandelion. Oh, heavens above, I don't even know how to describe it. Can't remember your lines, you're reading all over the place, and you're not giving me any emotions. How am I supposed to work with that? This is a crime. Crime against art. This can't go on, my friends. Really sorry you're so disappointed, but I don't plan to continue taking part anymore. You can't reprimand or punish me, and I'm not gonna keep doing this either. Mr. Susano? I mean, I know that there are some issues with this performances, but it's nothing a few more rehearsals can't fix. There's no need. We could practice 100 times and I still wouldn't understand what your script is about. Share the sentiment. Why would these two characters suddenly sacrifice themselves and run off to where the enemy is? No matter how you look at it, it just doesn't make any sense. They are just dragging the main character down. The lines at the end are so awkward. I feel embarrassed just reading them. In short, I quit. Goodbye. Yep, that's that then. How could you? With Susano and Kaharu gone, we shan't have enough actors to continue filming. This is bad. There, it's okay. I'm sorry, your efforts. I fear they shall go to waste now. Let's think of a way to remedy this situation. I just confess, I'm lost for words. I'm going to Uyu restaurant for a moment. I need to be alone. I'm sorry. We'll talk about this matter the next time we meet. Now that Xavier's gone, seems like he's in a pretty bad shape. He must be taking the argument they had earlier really hard. Do you think we should go cheer him up a bit? Paimon remembers him mentioning Uyu restaurant. You think we should go, then let's go look for him. Am I still locked out from the interlude? I am still locked out of the interlude. Okay, so this continues in the restaurant. These side quests, but I kind of hope they're quicker. Guess it can't be helped. Huh? You found me. Burp. Eesh. I reek booze around here. You're drunk, aren't you, Xavier? Yeah, go easy on the drinks. Don't say that. It's ruining the vibe. You sound like a mom. Burp. Come on, let's drink together. Maybe some other time. Huh? That's kinda... What kind of friends are you? You're no fun. Wasn't it just right when we were filming I was being questioned? Mel is so yeesh. Actually, I don't blame Miss Kaharu, burp, or Mr. Susano. They were very cooperative at first. That is to say, or I think that is to say, it's probably because I'm so not that talented. Don't say that. You just need a little more experience. You really are a good person, you know that? You're so good. Here, let me give you a hug. Hey, a minute ago you were drunk as a skunk. Drunk as a skunk. I did not know that was a saying. You're not taking advantage of the situation to get chummy with us, are you? I'll kindly decline. I think you had a little too much to drink. You know, that film I worked so hard on before, well, the higher ups at the Tenryou Commission didn't like it too much. They didn't come right out and say it, but they were totally silent, which means they didn't approve. But I refuse to accept this. I refuse. At the time I was able to get funding for Lord Commissaro to make the film, so I must take this seriously, don't you think? My dearest, most adorable good friends, you're closer to me than a sibling, so I'll tell you something about me. I'm an engineer, but I think I can be more than an engineer. I read a lot of books and I can write stuff. I could be a film writer, an actor, a director. I'm not taking out of my hat here. I could really do it. Don't you believe me? I believe you. Great. I could kiss you if I could, but I drank smished too much and my breath stinks. Don't get the wrong idea, NoukonNeko. I just think that you're truly my dearest and bestest friend. My best friend? I must treat you to a meal today, and I won't take no for an answer. My dear fellow, we order food from you, correct? Come, my friend. Order whatever you like. Try flavor skewer does sound kind of good. I'll go with that. That's all? No. Unacceptable. You're my best friend. The best friend of Xavier, a man of Fontaine. Being stingy with my friends could damage my character, and I am, if nothing else, a person of character. My dear friend, my dear sir, we'll have the tri-flavored skewered, tonkatsu ramen, and whatever else you serve here. Understood. Erica, one of everything for this table. Wow. Dear NoukonNeko, dear Paimon, how is this what I call a real meal? Come on, let's eat for our dreams. I'm just hoping he could afford all of this. Burp. Thanks for your hospitality. You're a good guy, Xavier. You're Paimon's best friend. Well, one of them anyway. I don't think that's how best friends work. How was everything? Simply divine. I could taste the lake of your rice and fish. The sweet and delicate aroma is just like what I'd have in my hometown of Pentrishore. Haha, is that so? I'm glad you like it. Now, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but this film you mentioned sounds very interesting indeed. Can you tell me more about it, if you wouldn't mind? Oh, so this Outlander has a resolve to stand up and fight when things get tough. Impressive. But to be honest, there's a little thought or hesitation involved here that this person barely seems human at all. When they meet an enemy they can't beat, they summon up the courage to charge anyway, and they actually triumph. That sort of daring is actually rather frightening. You're so young, Mr. Xavier. I can take it that you never experienced such life-threatening situation before. Certainly not life-threatening, but this is the reason why my script has been criticized? Well, let me put it this way. Is having an identical experience first strictly necessary to write a good story? Well, what I understand, quite a number of great authors are homebodies. Besides, I find this no-nonsense sword-drawn approach very Inazuma-esque. Since I've come to Inazuma, I should make some films with Inazuma flair. Mr. Kayabuki's original work was also the style, and in order to preserve this unique elements, I decided to honor the source. You mean Kayabuki Ike? Interesting lad, to be sure. Whenever I move this dedication to the film, I can't help but be reminded of a story I once heard. Sitting in a restaurant eating and listening to stories like this one. So Inazuma. I love it. Feel the same way. Yum, 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 yum. You guys go on. Paimon's gonna finish up over here first. Long ago, there lived someone named Sesshomaru. Sesshomaru was born to samurai parents who worked for powerful people. Well, they weren't very powerful themselves, but they weren't too bad either. When I read the name Sesshomaru, I'm totally thinking about the character in Inuyasha right now in my head. But these parents seemingly made a strange error in their work, incurring punishment and eventually submitting to their execution. Unable to accept their deaths, Sesshomaru toiled to find the samurai family that carried out the sentence. Truth be told, the responsible party did everything by the book. The family is serving as execution normally shouldn't have been blamed for the sentence they were ordered to carry out. The family was also acquainted with Sesshomaru's. Goodness me, the story is pretty hard to tell without naming names. For now, suppose that family responsible was the Wakayama clan. To all the good people in Inazuma named Wakayama, please don't hate me for this. As I say, blind by hatred, Sesshomaru decided to take revenge on the Wakayamas. By then, the people who had personally beheaded Sesshomaru's parents have already passed away, leaving the oldest son in charge with the Wakayama estate. This person happened to be Sesshomaru's childhood friend, but now they became enemies. The story is about friends becoming foes. The story is about family following punishment from the above. I heard tales like this before. Looks like our young friend here is well read. Officials are privileged, but they also have responsibilities and mistakes must be punished. We have our own rules here in Inazuma. It is not unheard of for an official to slip up and fall into ruins. But you don't seem surprised at all. You must have a wide circle of friends. Since this isn't surprising to you, I'm afraid the fallout between Sesshomaru and the son of the Wakayamas will be equally predictable. Paimon knows, something awful's gonna happen next. It doesn't matter if it's Mondstadt, Leeway, Inazuma, it's always the same wherever you go. Indeed, there's nothing new under the sun. People always lose themselves due to the same old things. Suppose there are plenty of stories like this one in Fontaine too. Anyway, before any action is taken, Sesshomaru supposedly remembered the old days, took out a tamari and a sword, and let the oldest son of the Wakayama family choose between them. What does that mean? Now, how should I know what Sesshomaru was thinking? Still, I would think the tamari and the sword represents life and death, respectively. Having made the wrong choice, the Wakayama's eldest son had no choice to accept being pursued and slain by Sesshomaru, one ill-fated lad. Before Sesshomaru could even come knocking at his door, an illness took him. I don't know if that was lucky or unfair. Dying of an illness and being killed both means dying either way, so who knows which would have been better. It's hard not to blame Sesshomaru for his death. If it weren't for the former being bent on revenge, the latter wouldn't have needed to lay low until he fell ill. After that, the younger Wakayama child immediately sought vengeance. Good as grief, the cycle never ends, does it? Sesshomaru was forced into hiding in the mountain before eventually disappearing. Some say Sesshomaru fled in fear of the Wakayamas, while others say he let himself sink to the depths of the ocean to quench his burning hatred. Whichever ending you wish to believe, no one ever saw Sesshomaru again. To this day, such a fretful matter as hate and shame should have all flowed into the leylands with Sesshomaru's death. Since the whole dispute has lost its source, just take and all was well again to be the story's ending. That's it? So, not even you know where Sesshomaru went? Yeah, all that was not well and all. kind of ending is that? I'm sorry, but that's how the part I heard ends. After all, it takes what that's been spread to many places, so such vagueness is unavoidable. Back to the issue. You see, Mr. Xavier, you need a story with an ending that leaves people wanting more. Mr. Okazaki, I must say that you're indeed a gentleman of great insight. I wouldn't be surprised if the legend of Sesshomaru took place in Fontaine. Especially if one of the legend's ending, where Sesshomaru's disappearance to put an end to his hatred. That sounds just like what a friend of mine from Samira would do. I want to thank you for your kindness and nudge that you've given me. Not just through this story. Your unique way of giving advice has given me just the inspiration I need. I think I know what was missing from my film before. Thank you, Mr. Okazaki. This is for the meal. If I manage to write an even better script, I'll come back to offer you my most solemn gratitude. Aha. Tell you what, I really envy your youth and drive, traveler. To be able to befriend such a person is a gift from the gods. You must be a special person as well to have been so blessed. Good things surely awaits you, Mr. Azuber. That's a really long story time. Story is quite complete, but it's lacking some emotional turmoil. Xavier? What's on your mind? Heavens forgive me. It's a real souse this morning. I am. I left my friend in the restaurant after completely forgetting about them. But I think I can now write an all-new, presentable script now and give this one more shot. It will definitely work this time. No, I'll make it work. Please allow me a little time. Just one day will suffice. Sigh, but it's going to be tricky with those two actors. Mr. Kaharu and Mr. Suzano don't seem keen on trying again. But I can't blame them either. I'll just have to think of something when the time comes. Can I help in any way? No. I couldn't ask for anything more comforting than having you two here to listen to me vent. My dear NoukonNeko, you're indeed a great listener. Miss Paimon, if my behavior was all untoward just now, can you forgive me? I didn't mean you any offense. Oh, Miss Paimon, that's a nice ring to it. Alright then, the magnanimous Paimon has decided to forgive you. Wonderful, I feel much better now. Let's meet tomorrow at Komori Tea House. I'll bring a even better script, you'll see. Xavier trots off. That's great that he's so motivated, but it's like Mr. Okazaki said, is it really gonna be okay for him to do it all by himself? He says he's gonna write a brand new script in one day. That's a scary big job, isn't it? I'd like to help him. Maybe we should let Xavier work out the script by himself. Paimon thinks we can help him with his actor problem instead. Yeah, I'll go talk to the actors. Yeah, that should take a load off his back. Okay, and we are back onto the main interlude. What happened in the last interlude? The interlude, we're just going around asking questions about the Balladeer and things he could have affected when he erased his own existence.
What are we looking for? Something? Or someone?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Xavier? What are you doing here?
Kind of funny hear him talk after not hearing him talk for a while.
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So what about you two?
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Do you know much about Tatara Suma?
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away.
How well do you understand the history of this area?
Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here.
Oh, go on. I'm listening.
Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation, goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Panic, huh? Sounds like the doctor still sabotaged this furnace, leading to all the ensuing chaos.
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask already.
I am.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge?
Pretty much. So can I ask one more question?
Sure, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of Kabuki Mono connected to the Tatarasuna?
A kabuki mono? No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet, actually. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where Tatarasuna is concerned.
So there's no more Kabuki Mono. Did Balladeer really manage to erase himself from history completely? So he must have wanted to change the world and revert everything back to the way it was. But so far, it looks like the majority of the changes only affected himself. Thank you, Xavier.
Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help.
I was calling him Xavier this whole time, but his name was actually Xavier? Okay.
Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for.
Time to go back and see Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there for you.
Right. Thank you, Paimon.
Hey, don't mention it. Alright, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
The Kabuki Mono finale. Okay. Think could do this, then I'll be able to call it a night. Won't be able to finish Nahida's quest, but at least can finish the interlude.
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Are you still talking about the essay?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
That's right. At the very beginning, we were talking about an essay, and it involved a lot about the Balladeer, right? So I wonder how different it will be now.
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we join them?
Perfect. These two have researched Tatarasuna's past. Let's hear what they have to say.
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress.
The article you let me read last time was great. Can I read it again? Oh god.
Oh, of course.
It's gonna be as long? Oh, kill me. Oh my god. Okay. Well, this is happening. A brief analysis of the possible events of the historical importance of the Tatarasuna area. Details. The text belongs in a series of works sponsored by Bahuma's Veil Cutter Project. It has yet to be numbered. Author, Akaba. Abstract. The Tatarasuna area has always been a major pillar of the Inazuma's smithing industry. 2 incidents have occurred here, and the details behind the first are vague at best. I believe, however, that there might be a hidden history behind the events that transpired. Hence, the paper will attempt to analyze what may have unfolded from the available data. Last 3. Tatarasuna area. Raiden Gokuden, Mikoshi Nakamasa. Introduction. This paper continues and expands the work of my mentor, Mr. Rumi, in his report on the hapty hidden tales of Tatarasuna. And this is indeed to further his avenue of research. According to the data, the blade forging technique of Inazuma were originally handed down from the Lecture Archon, also known as the Raiden Shogun. Using the arts they have inherited from the Archon, the people of Inazuma devoted themselves to the process of forging. However, strange rumors that do not quite fit the steely natures of the metalwork yet lingers about Tatarasuna's smelting center, which was a central pillar of the forging industry. There, the Mikoshi and Niwa clans, along with an eccentric mechanic from abroad, served as 3 windows of insights that we need to investigate the truth behind what happened. Body. Strange notes from the Tatarasuna area. Contents as follows. Perhaps I overslept, but I think Sir Nagamasa's moods grows better when he forges blades. The obsession to cleanse the stain of the name Mikoshi must eat at him. The inspector brought a certain number of jade steel ingots. Sir Katsuragi discussed the matters of smithing deep into the night with the vice armor officer. We at last made a single nagamaki. Call it the Dai Tatara Nagamasa. The inspector was in high spirits, and he and the vice armory officer, Nozumu, was also taken by the beauty of Dai Tatara Nagamasa that he drew a picture of it. The inspector flew into a rage and slashed Katsuragi. The great blade cut deep into the flesh. Cast his own nagamaki into the furnace flame. Nazuma could not abide by that order. It drew the completely melted weapon out of the furnace. He was horribly burned. Nazuma died that night. I dare say that Sir Katsuragi may have been committed malfeasance. It was out of the goodness of his heart. Kinjoro hit the Nagamaki and Nozomi's drawing in the arsenal. Nagamasa is harsh, but also knows right from wrong, but even so, it's not amenable to reasons that indicate that one is obsessed with purity. Yet, I and some households of Tatarasuna has been blinded by the matter of Nagamasa's mother, Chiyo, and we trust him. I also remain unwilling to forget the joy of creating the Dai Tatara Nagamasa with him. Okay, I kind of want to kind of skip it because this is sounding very similar to what I read before. Like, it barely mentioned the Kabuki Mona in the first place. So getting rid of that in the original passage. Wait, why is this green? Yokai. Okay, names of all the characters. Long that I delved into many texts and documents, but I was ultimately unable to decipher a specter of a clue as to his background. Still mentions the mechanic grew scarcer in the aftermath of Tatarasuna incident. I speculate that instead of the mechanic possibly being a figure woven from an overripe imagination, he originally did exist. And perhaps he even had a hand in the events that took place in Tatarasuna. I guess the green is what really has changed. This talks about the yokai, possibly how it took over the person who's holding the blade, right? Okay.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
Yeah, not really. it's a very long reading. Let's check the green though. Miyazuki hid his green. Upon hearing this, Niwa released the lizard from his hand into Katsuharu's palm. That sounds familiar, but just as more words were to be exchanged, someone came walking by, or nearby, their footsteps steady and confident. Their head was appeared by the door and one from abroad. The newcomer placed some lunch boxes to one side, nodded, and made to leave. Karasu called after him, "Sir, what about your meal? Are you not hungry?" Man smiled upon hearing Katsuharu's word. "I already ate. I hope you, my lords, also find time to sate your hunger soon." "You are a guest, sir. To see you help in these trifling matters fills me with embarrassment," Niwa said with sincerity. The man smiled as if it was no matter, and then in a nod he departed. I guess before you would have had the Balladeer hand the food. Like a fallen spirit of the black cloud reached the bottom of the boat, was joined by the bereftness of the direction like a changing beast plunging to the shoreline scant steps away. The mechanic laughed, slowly approaching the great grand wreck. Not but half the arm was left of the one who had cried out for help. And with a plop, it landed at the mechanic's feet, who crouched better to study the object, staining against the urge to take a bite, yet he did not. The dark clouds swirled down. Okay, so that line, they switched the Kabuki Mono with the mechanic. Second ship was sent, then the third, and each who left their salvation did under the foul skies of bleak fortune. Reasons dictated that they should not have risked anyone else, but the situation in Tatarasuna was severe that they needed to get aid from Inazuma, even should it cost them moral lives. The content has changed. After another effect of the tampering with the information in Imra's soul. The Balladeer said he'd erased 2 of his names. Really, if he really succeeded, it must have taken all his might, but still,
Well, what do you think?
a masterpiece.
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
Sure.
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
Ryan Gokunen and Tatsura history.
So many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Amanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Well, we've got some things to take care of. Bye for now.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
Okay, back to Nahida. Hopefully she has figured out what to do about this situation. Does she even know that he doesn't exist anymore is the big question, really.
Nahida, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, how have you been? Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then he decided he wanted to go to Inazuma.
I was investigating the situation with the Balladeer.
The Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name.
Yeah, I kind of figured she would not remember. Oh no.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me?
Even Nahida doesn't remember. Just like the last time, any changes to Irma's soul affects her as well. The Balladeer acted quickly. He finished erasing himself before Nahida could stop him. I'm the only one who still remembers the things that were erased. Once again, I am the record keeper.
Traveler? Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
There are things that has happened that only I can remember. I have to tell you the truth. Heavy heart, told the story, scattered across the time. Are we talking about Ruka Devata and Balladeer, or just the Balladeer? There once was one named the Balladeer, created by the Electro Archon. He is a puppet who lived among men. After a series of events in Tatarasuna, the Balladeer, thinking they have been thrice betrayed, left Inazuma to roam the world beyond. With no trust for humans and only loathing for the gods, he bore his grudge for years. As he grew in strength and returned to Inazuma to take his revenge, he tried in vain to become a deity with a gnosis and ended up losing everything. Finally, he entered Emerald and learned the truth behind his betrayal. Knowing now that his entire life was built on lies, he did the unthinkable in an attempt to reverse his tragic fate.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsoul. hoping that he could change the past. But how was he even able to do that? As the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality. So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because... well, because he literally changed the world? Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect him. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
You can say that again.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it? I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
I'm really not sure. We're enemies after all. I don't know his perspective on all of this, so I can't say why he did something so extreme. Did he really want to reset everything? Or save someone? Or did he want to completely undo his existence? Everything can be set right. It's time to resolve this once and for all. Maybe that's all there is to it. Still remember the question he asked. He asked me specifically and my hesitation gave him his answer. I hesitated because I witnessed Greater Lord Rukhtavata erase her own existence, but I can't tell Nahida that. To put it in another way, I know why the Balladeer was so sure it could work, but I can't tell them that.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share?
I just feel empty. He chose such a radical option, and yet...
It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right?
Yes.
Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that, and if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense, every part of it. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left. Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Yeah, he changed the world in many ways, and yet still didn't get a second chance. Those fated to a tragic end could not be saved. What exactly did he want to fight back against? The betrayals in his life? Or did he wish he never existed at all?
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us. What is it? A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Surprisingly, the information presented is the way that resembles a fairy tale.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
This matches everything I said.
I authored this record myself. Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the Balladeer? When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else. Hold on. So this record survived from the past? Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabuki Mono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the Balladeer entered Irminsul. That's incredible! What a great idea! And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything.
I see. So, backup plan. Nice work, Nahida.
This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us, the now erased life of the Balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
Really cool way to extract the story. But yeah, that's really clever for her to do that.
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail, that Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
I never had this feeling before. It feels like a life as insignificant as a feather.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahida's right. Cheer up! How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation again later.
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head?
You got it! Come on, Traveler! You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
Oh, it's so heavy. Yeah, so much story to kind of digest. It's a new day. Take a walk to the bazaar to clear your head. Get there very quick. If something happens, we'll continue with that part, but I'm probably gonna end the stream soon. It is getting really late. Yeah, but I just didn't want to like accidentally walk around the bazaar and like trigger something off stream. So it probably doesn't hurt to just head there for now.
We're here! What should we eat first?
I have a naggy feeling like there's something I'm missing, something important that I'm forgetting.
Hey, are you gonna answer or what?
Sorry, it's just, give me a minute. I'm still processing.
Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get something to eat.
Come on, brain, let's dig this out. It's gotta be in here, in there somewhere. It has something. It was something about Irmisol and deleting oneself. Great Lord Vukadavata. Forbidden knowledge. Nahida.
What is it? Have you figured it all out?
Yes, that was it. The Great Lord Vukadavata. She said that no one can erase themselves from existence, not even her. Otherwise, why would she need to create her own reincarnation in Lesser Lord Xanali to do deletion for her? There would be no point.
Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
No, I can't tell Paimon. She doesn't know about the Great Lord Rukadavata. But this is a crucially important detail. Simply not possible for the Balladeer to completely erase his own existence. In which case, the question is, what happened to him?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Still alive. He just doesn't remember who he is, probably.
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsetias and ran off. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? The work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Like a completely different person.
Who's that guy? You know him or something?
That guy is the Balladeer.
He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself get distracted. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsetias, and I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver a fruit bowl this evening.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you'd start asking for something in return eventually. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsetius, was it? I'll be right back.
Hey, what do we do now?
Let's follow him.
Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Oh, sneaking mission? You know, if I actually saw you, it would be really accurate when it comes to sneaking. She's a ninja. She's short. She could turn into objects.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the Balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsetius? Isn't that a bit too cruel? Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back.
Wasn't seeing this with my own eyes, I would never believe it.
Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice.
You're right. We were following you.
Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me?
Yes.
I have no recollection.
It's complicated, but I do know you.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
Prove it. You're a puppet.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important.
There's something I want to take you. There's somewhere I want to take you.
Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it. Is that true?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
All right.
Then let's return to the city.
Turn to the grocery stall. So, yeah, he wasn't completely able to erase his existence, but he was able to at least erase his past, and everybody don't remember him. But that's as far as it goes. It's like 99% of him is gone, but just 1% is left. But he himself doesn't know it either. It's quite a big a big twist, I guess. It's not the way I want to describe this. This is not the right place. Right? I need to go down. That's right. I need to go back to the grocery store. I was going a little bit ahead of myself, going back to Nahida.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant that you don't want any pay for it. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable. You know, you should go live your life.
This merchant is such a nice guy.
But I don't...
He doesn't have anywhere to go, though. That's his issue.
No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me. We can go now.
Huh. Big question now is, once he finds out the whole truth, what will he do? Kind of sad story, because he would found out that it didn't really change the fate of the people he was trying to save by altering the past. Well, we're about to see.
Nahida! Nahida!
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
Yo, let's look at what happened in the Grand Bazaar.
You say that you are trekking across to Vat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called, previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation? Oh, okay. I see. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation.
We're just trying to think where to start.
If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear. But I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Yeah, that's the funny with people like him. Someone who doesn't have memories of the past, they're just really eager and really want to know the truth, right? Want to learn more about themselves. Despite being this person who tossed away the memories in the first place, the way they were before.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
Nahida tells the wonder about his past.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
We were each other's enemies.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street! He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything. What a weird situation.
But wait, you don't remember things either. You're just... It's probably weirder for you, who doesn't remember and somehow still hold something against them. Because to Paimon, everything's just all stories she's hearing right now about him.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to fill the void within me. Except maybe these sins that can never be undone.
Very well. As you wish.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Go with him.
Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Okay.
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep an eye on you.
Understood.
Thank you. Now, prepare yourselves, everyone.
Enter the memory. I mean, I've been needing to go sleep a while ago, but this seems like the last stretch right here. So wait, I can talk to Wonder first before I go in.
No matter what lies ahead, I'll face it. Whatever it takes. I'm just sorry that you have to join me for the whole thing.
You know, it's kind of weird to say that's not a problem, but it feels. I was in travel shoes. I don't know how to feel really. It's kind of weird. Okay, I guess we'll go in. There seems to be an enemy. Are we fighting against himself? Is this how this is gonna work? What team I want to use? I think this team's still better for combat.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
And now we're just finishing the job.
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
You could say that, in a sense. You'll see why shortly.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved, too. No mining crew would be capable of this. There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Guess I'm going down here. I'm not missing anything, right?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Oh, that was a trap floor right there. I just walked past it just in time.
Huh? What are we doing back
hear voices.
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the Balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the Balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The Balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too.
You can imagine that. Imagine just watching a version of yourself just going crazy. I would say it's really difficult when you think of it like that way.
The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going.
There's more. What more can there be? That still hit me despite me being underground. Let me heal myself. Oh, she's hurt too.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that can be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
Long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
This isn't good. Well met. Put your back into it.
Okay, maybe not. I'm like thinking that maybe he's gonna be usable, but I don't see the option.
Busted. Take it easy. These are about to get set.
Looks like I went too far.
Not that I need to use him. I thought it'd be fun to use him for, like, you know, aesthetics. It's very fitting since he's supposed to be here with me.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the delusion factory in Inazuma.
In the original version of events, the Traveler once encountered the Balladeer here.
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so familiar.
Oh, so this is a memory of us. Yeah, I remember this. It's an unsettling place.
Hey, look over there.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the Doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending like you're above everyone else. Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
She never made it back.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Busted. Here comes the catch. Whirling snow.
Yeah, I was trying not to overkill it so quickly so that it doesn't cut off the dialogue.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the Abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
He's the doctor. He's behind all of this.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
It's there, right? It has been pretty interesting to go walk through. Just little extra details.
You're God. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass.
Are you saying?
Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self.
Is this the true meaning of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's word? A person can't erase themselves, and even though the original Balladeer is gone, this person will live on in his place. Are people's sins inescapable part of their destiny too?
I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more. But for all my soul searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
It's very impressive.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright? No way!
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Who did he grab? He grabbed himself. I guess he gains his powers when this happened.
Die.
Wait, did he even have a vision before?
This is trying my patience.
Oh, okay. We're battling the boss as him?
Insignificant past.
You know, usually to fight this boss, you kind of need Nahida's like little creature things to help along. How am I supposed to do this with just him? Uh-oh. Ah, I couldn't find out fast enough. Yeah, if I had my other characters to help, this wouldn't be so bad.
My command, you shall fall. Behold, my endless cycle begins.
No. I'm gonna wait. Oh, I'm invincible. Okay.
Insignificant past.
Okay, this is probably doable after all. If you had to do this without dying, then this would be a lot harder.
Swan Fury.
The battle's kind of drawn out. I never get to hear the music this far before.
Quit following me.
Ouch.
Behold. Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
He's back, that's for sure.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am.
You've recovered your memories. Past will catch up with you.
You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Me, myself, and I. One thing I couldn't tell is whether he grabbed another version of himself, like 2 different versions,
Welcome back, traveler. Paimon, Balladeer.
or whether it's just significant guy. kind of pointing to the fact that he's just grabbing to himself. Like, infinitely.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it.
You won't go by the Balladeer anymore?
After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the 6th is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
Let's call it a tactical retreat.
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
That's true. This world's history is still a bit different, right? He just regained all his memories back of it.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that.
Oh, but you know what this means? This also means that he could, the Vtuber won't know who he is anymore, so he could kind of take advantage of that, like a shadow, right? Like a ninja.
Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it.
Nahida doesn't see you that way.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what secrets can be uncovered, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well.
Thank you. Let's hope you can find some answers.
I will try.
Traveler.
Yes?
After I dove into the information torrent in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma?
Because I wanted to know what you changed.
So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how. Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back.
I didn't do all of this for a reward. Please don't make it sound like I'm extorting you.
Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Hope you can give Nahida a chance.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you need to follow Nahida. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been for nothing.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
An ugly nickname?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
Huh? You want us to decide?
No, Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Oh.
Have you got anything?
Oh, there's actually rules for this. Name change rules. Appetite stroke, arcing. Basically, there's a limit on the number of times you could name this character. But do so with care. So I have to kind of think of a careful name that doesn't break any weird rules. Bullying insult to any travelers or a group of travelers. What? Huh. Okay. So nothing that sounds kind of bad. Edit Wanderer's name. Well, this is a tough choice. I mean, I know about this for the longest time, but I still haven't actually figured out what to actually name him. And I have read there have been very funny names people did for him for a bit, but I kind of forgot what they were. But I remember even like to my closest friends, they were like talking about how they named him for like, oh my god, I forgot what they even named him. Whew. I have no names kind of appear in my mind. I kind of always think that after going through his story, I would kind of think of a name. He does kind of fly. You know, I'll name him Tsubasa. That's the name that pops up in my head, but I kind of forgot what that means. Is either wings or sky. I just want to double check. Yeah, so it means wings, which is fine. I mean, the other thing is I could try and name him Sky. But, I mean, I think wings are kind of appropriate for him, right? Because it's almost as he's kind of a little bit free from being a puppet, right? Being manipulated by the doctor and people. It's kind of a new life for him. And I also kind of like think of him almost like a phoenix, how he kind of is like a reincarnate version of himself. Actually, that's a good question. Is there a such word for phoenix in Japanese? I just want to take a look at that. Tsubasa's good one right now, but I move things around. Phoenix. Benikutsu? No, it's literally just the... It's literally Phoenix, but just in like Japanese alphabet. Maybe that doesn't sound as good. Let's go with Tsubasa. Okay, that's your new name.
Are you sure?
Yes, and I think it would do.
Oh, all right. If you say so.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop rushing me!
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one.
What do you plan to do next?
Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been.
I can't really say fine to that. That sounds... And I feel like maybe they will... There's a chance that they might find a way to forgive him, but... It's so tough. I mean, I guess he was kind of given an opportunity to learn the truth, right? And he wants to give that same opportunity to the people he done wrong and give them the choice. So I guess it's him just being fair and give them the same options. Okay, fine.
No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore.
There were some bumps along the way, but it's all over now.
So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax for a while.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the epilogue. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, was forged, the people rejoiced, and there was painting, dancing, and drinking. All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime. Life is a story too long to be told, a journey that you must walk to behold.
Turn to the resting place. Is there a teeny bit more? Well, I didn't get the complete chapter finished thing, so there's a little bit more, I think. Just a teeny bit. I mean, what else could there be besides a couple final notes? Okay, wait, how far is this? Oh. I'm going pretty far. Well, no, maybe not. It's right up there. I thought it was outside the city for a second. Kind of went past it. Over here?
Whew, it's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back.
What's up, Paimon? I'll buy some delicious treats as a reward.
Wow, great! Huh? Look at that vase.
What about it?
Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
Right, we stayed here. Paimon bumped into the table after being startled by something to do with the Balladeer and broke the vase. But the Balladeer erased his existence. He changed the world, so why is this vase still broken?
You sound lost and confused.
What's that?
I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else, who can say? When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not?
Who are you? How do you know about all this?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
It's as if God's talking to me.
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff?
Read my eyes. Does she mean I should trust my memories?
Anyway, that vase is still lying there broken on the ground. Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up? It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
Wonder what else awaits me in the future. Good question. Hey, we finally get the chapter completion. Kind of unexpected. Kind of went into today's stream kind of thinking I would complete Nahida story, maybe finish with that, but end up totally going back to the interlude again and finish with that instead. It's not a bad thing. I did want to go back to the interlude. The reason why I was trying to complete Nahida's was to go back to her in the first place. But I couldn't finish Nahida's unless I did this, so here we are. Quite a bit of progress, right? I wonder what's... Am I even able to do the next... Oh. Maybe. Yeah, I was wondering if I'm able to do the next story. Next main story. Is this in the main story? Show cancelled? No. That's not. This is the Nilu story. Hate them probably. Yeah, these are character stories. Maybe that's a Hytham story. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the next thing I would do. It could most likely would be kind of probably finishing the Hito story at best. Then I'm not quite sure afterwards. But yeah, so that would probably be what I would do on my next stream.
Their gems.
And it might be the last Genshin stream for a while until the next like update comes out. At least I will slow down in Genshin, not like stream it almost every time I stream so far. So I'll probably be thinking a lot about what I would do in the future after the next one. But yeah, if you guys want to catch more Genshin story, then I'll see you guys in the future.
A blade embraces
Yeah, alright. It's pretty late, so I'm probably going to definitely end it here and call it a night. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. NoukonNeko signing out. Bye bye.